Ocean, my money, Emma, Aquaba, Embra, a channel, so AGH Politics Avenue. Podcast or say training because we can headlines. Now, Jumbre, na it be exomo, it be on rock sims, and it can say which may subscribe to the channel. But when you also with my hit notification, we so share now out of 4 accounts or answer into income. Only you do a rather floor of parliament. Now, Afenyo Markins or Casa Efagalamsi. Now, Onia. Say ye can't send ye galamsey SC a say or minor. Afenyo Markins, say be a son se benyado or cassa and car over twinkling on us, cacra, efa a ye galamsey, send ye SC a say in sassy or maim. Yea, send ye OCB razy matana on the floor of parliament. A year among your 4 or ECB a year FI. Young court. Now, any about how age politics avenue.
Oh, remember your time is up. Yes, minority leadership. Minority leadership.
Speaker. Speaker. This year, something very strange happened. Lent and Ramadan coincided. Lent started same day as Ramadan. So, Mr. Speaker, it's a very big spiritual push for humanity. Mr. Speaker, when the maker of the statement brought this issue of Ramadan to our attention and the benefit thereto, he also drew our attention to extreme heat in the north and talked about the fact that we've destroyed our environment and we need to plant more trees. Mr. Speaker, earlier we had heard from Honorable Ajinsem, who had spoken about entrepreneurs and micro, small, medium-sized enterprises, and also emphasized the need for us as a country to build an entrepreneurial hub of Africa so that we promote private sector engagement. Mr. Speaker, in his statement, he had also called upon us to create a platform to encourage innovation, productivity, and also create a healthy competition for our entrepreneurs. That would obviously create a platform for the private sector so that more of our youth get jobs to do. Mr. Speaker, connecting this statement to what the member for Mion just said, Mr. Speaker, we all are aware how Galamsey is destroying the environment. And the member talked about the need for us to ensure we do tree planting. The statement spoke about Mr. Speaker, the statement spoke about climate change and then gave us the background to climate change. That as a result of destruction of our forest cover, we are experiencing extreme heat, and there is a need, therefore, to plant trees. I am saying that directly connected to this is the need, Mr. Speaker, to create an opportunity for our youth, especially so when, Mr. Speaker, we are aware that one of the factors destroying our forest cover is Galamsey. Mr. Speaker, from what he said, the climatic conditions becoming worse as a result of Galamsey. That is the main source of the destruction of our forest cover, where tree felling, where our water bodies are being destroyed, and Mr. Speaker, people are even pulling down their cocoa trees, their farms, because of the attraction of Galamsey. So, Mr. Speaker, the call is the right call. And coming at this very holy month, where we are fasting as Christians, fasting as Muslims, Mr. Speaker, he couldn't have emphasized them more that we need to take our environment as a treasured asset, not to destroy our environment. And Mr. Speaker, for the areas that we know Galamsey activities have destroyed the forest cover, government will need to invest in tree planting. He talked about tree crop. We in this house, we passed a law. The Tree Crop Development Authority bill was passed, and we established that institution. Recently, they did a conference, a summit, Tree Crop Summit at the International Conference Center. And the majority leader and my good self were there to make some remarks. Mr. Speaker, we have to encourage our youth to go into tree crop farming. Mr. Speaker, coconut, mango, and other tree crops should be seen as a major source of employment. Mr. Speaker, I was in the Bono area over the weekend, and they were talking about cashew. We seem to have forgotten about some of these, cash crops, and we are not putting in policies to attract the youth in that direction. This is the reason why they go on the Galamsey path and they destroy our environment. Mr. Speaker, the member for Mion has drawn our attention to an important matter, and we don't have to be partisan about it. He couldn't have said it better. So, Mr. Speaker, I would propose that this statement should not just end here. Mr. Speaker, my proposal is for you to make a referral of this very important statement to the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources. Mr. Speaker, for them to, Mr. Speaker, pull out a statement, sift a statement out of this all-important statement from our colleague from Mio, so that, Mr. Speaker, there can be a national policy to guide the youth and create that space, that resources, that funding for the many who would want to see it as an alternative source of employment. Mr. Speaker, otherwise, they would continue to see mining, or the illegal mining, otherwise known as Galamsey, as their main source of bread. And we all know the effects of that, as was ably stated by the member who made the statement. Mr. Speaker, that said, I would want to rest my case and commend him highly for the industry that went into the statement.
Majority leadership. Please, Honorable Soini, you have the floor. Honorable Soini, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute to this very important statement made by my brother and colleague from the Miang constituency, Honorable Ms. Bao. Mr. Speaker, the statement couldn't have come at an appropriate time, and I just wish to reiterate, quoting Quran chapter 2, 185, where Allah where we are told, quote, Allah intends for you ease and does not intend for you hardship. Mr. Speaker, it is to conserve the time that I have to speak. Mr. Speaker, it is for good reason that this provision in the Quran is used to urge members of the faith to understand that the religion is not to be a burden upon them. And that is why even with fasting, even though it is prescribed and it is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, there are still exemptions. There are temporary exemptions and there are permanent exemptions. And exemptions that sometimes relate to health. If you are unhealthy to fast, fasting is not compulsory to you. There are, however, remedies that are recommended. For example, the feeding of in the past it was said a slave, but now you can feed people who are fasting, or you help people who are fasting to break their fast, or the needy or poor in society. And that also represents, you get the same reward as if you had fasted, if you are exempted as a result of ill health. I would have wished that we got the medical opinion on the medical importance of fasting. But since we are limited by the numbers this afternoon, Mr. Speaker, I want to stress on a point that was made earlier by my colleague Yusuf when he quoted from the Quran and talked about self-restraint. Mr. Speaker, the cornerstone of Ramadan and fasting is to teach self-restraint. Self-restraint in every aspect of life. It talks about discipline. And Mr. Speaker, you can equate this to what is said in the Bible, Corinthians 6:12, where it, I don't quote like Dr. Mahmoud Baumi, I actually quote correctly, where it is said that all things are lawful. Mr. Speaker, I'm not talking about Psalm 23. I'm talking about Corinthians. I'm talking about Corinthians. I'm not talking about Psalm 23.
Like Mahmoud Baumia is ordered to be expunged from the record as if it doesn't exist.
I am guided. But Mr. Speaker, in Corinthians, we are told that all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. Mr. Speaker, this is to tell us, and that is what we are supposed to learn from Ramadan and from fasting, that even though you may have the right, you may have the capacity to do certain things, you should be able to exercise some restraint, some self-restraint. At least for 30 days in a month, be disciplined. And it is, the hope is that after you, in fact, life coaches will even tell you that to change a habit or an attitude, you need to stay, with that behavior for about 30 days or less. And then you can replace an old habit with a new one. And so you are taught that at least for 30 days in a year, you should be disciplined in all aspects of life. I don't want to give some examples. Mr. Speaker, you should be disciplined. And the anticipation is that even after the 30 days, you can continue with that disciplined life. Mr. Speaker, so it is not just denying yourself food and water. It's not just denying yourself, it is also to deny yourself some of the pleasures of life that you know are not even religious or good for you. So, Mr. Speaker, on this note, I hope and pray that we will all get the benefits of this holy month of Ramadan, and we will come out of this holy month.
Honourable members, we have exhausted all statements scheduled on the order paper. Yes, Majority Chief Whip.
Speaker, by my reckoning, we've done exactly 5 hours. So, Speaker, we are entirely in your hands.
Honourable members, yes.
Speaker, this side of the House has a major concern. Mr. Speaker, we, in this House, we deal with public business that emanate from the government. There are also initiatives of members of parliament, not limited to statements and questions, but also motions. And Mr. Speaker, we must find space to deal with all of them. Mr. Speaker, the minority has had a pending motion in this House. This is the 9th month. This is the 9th month. Anytime this motion had been scheduled to be taken, Mr. Speaker, we are told that it be shifted for another time. Mr. Speaker, I would want to put on record that the motion is of such importance that this House of Parliament cannot continue to let it pend. It's about the unemployment situation. It's about mass dismissal of Ghanaians who otherwise were in the employ of state institutions. Mr. Speaker, the motion was moved, seconded, and he, the Majority Chief Whip, was the first contributor on that side. And it was adjourned for us to continue the debate so that Mr. Speaker can make a final ruling on it. Mr. Speaker, the youth out there who have been sitting home for over a year are looking up to this House for a voice. It cannot be that anytime the minority raises this matter, the majority would find a way subtly to deny us the opportunity of concluding a debate on this matter. Second, Mr. Speaker, there is another motion that has to do with Gold Board and Bank of Ghana, which was admitted and duly advertised. Mr. Speaker, we've raised this several times with our colleagues. They promise that we will deal with it. We get into the chamber, an excuse is given one way or the other, and we don't deal with it. Mr. Speaker, I am saying this so that nobody will say that the minority side slept on its rights. We have said this over and over again, and I will plead with the Majority Chief Whip.
Honourable Minority Leader,
Mr. Speaker,
we've agreed to sit on Monday to exhaust questions and statements. That was the basis for us sitting on Monday. We have not agreed to sit on Monday to take motions or do any other business. So a situation where the agreement is to sit on Monday and take questions and exhaust all the statements, and we are going to discuss a pending motion, I have a difficulty about it. Because at the conclave, the plea was that we should sit on Monday to exhaust all the pending questions and pending statements. So having exhausted that, I think the time is due for us to adjourn, and the House is accordingly adjourned till Tuesday, 10th March 2026 at 12 noon.
We and some horo timikoso channel so mami ena wat so jemre wa hara sene so bari no dia dumbi erumia ni onia yeba san asomo